Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 31 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, ENFERNO. If you're new to the show, hello, and thanks for coming by. And if you're a returning listener, as always, I'm glad you're here. We got a good one here for you today. I always got to say that. Today, we're recording this podcast on April 13th, and I have one co-host here with me today. My boy, Eknight17 Shout out to people, man. Let them know what's up.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Eknight17. And yeah, find me on YouTube under Couch Combat, probably a shorter name, and on Twitch, Eknight117, the fewer ones. Also on Instagram at Couch Combat. What's up, man? How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm here to talk some video games. Before we do that, you already know who I am, your host, ENFERNO. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok at ENFERNO. Yeah, I mean, you can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ENFERNO. Yeah, I mean, your boy's getting ever so close to his goal of 300 followers for the year, man. We doing it. We doing the damn thing. Yeah, I mean. And also, as always, you know, you can take this show with you on the go. You know, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can listen to this on Spotify. You can listen to this on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to this on Google Podcasts. And soon, hopefully one day, you can listen to this on your TV. I mean, we be on a TV station somewhere. G4, holla at me. You know what I mean? But to answer my boy E-Night's question, I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm here to talk about some video games, man. We ain't got a lot of news this week. We do got a good conversation for y'all, man, because I do believe we needed a week like this where it's just kind of boring. I mean, there's not a lot of news going on. There was a big announcement, you know we're gonna talk about that. I know some of y'all gonna get mad about what I just said, but I mean, there's really not a lot going on. Everybody's still playing Elden Ring. Elden Ring is game of the year at this point.
I can't really see anything that'll inch it out this year.
Well, a lot of shit got delayed probably for that reason, but we'll talk about that a little later on the podcast, man.
I don't think they would delay their games because Elden Ring was so good.
Listen. We will talk about that in a little bit.
All right.
For right now, if you guys didn't know, I stream twitch.tv/ENFERNO, and my boy Eknight, he streams at twitch.tv/Eknight117. Last night on the 12th of April, we linked up, played some games together. We got back on Extraction. This is my second time playing Extraction. This is Eknight's first. How did you feel, man?
This shit's whack.
Mm.
It's pretty wacky. It's there's a reason why it's $20 and it's on Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's fun. It can be fun. It has potential of being fun, but the way they designed enemy encounters and the map being quote unquote procedurally generated, which in reality it's just the same maps, but they're randomized in order. So like you'll get the same entire location, but you may not encounter that location until the end of the mission or the beginning of the mission or the middle of the mission. Same thing with objectives. It's not really that procedurally generated. It's more randomized than anything. So what I hate about it is the fact that Rainbow Six Siege is an entirely team-based competitive shooter, and they took that and they plopped you into the zombie mode. Now, we already had the zombies mode back in the day on Rainbow Six Siege. It was a whole event. There's a cool ass Finka skin where she's all crystallized and shit. There's gun skins that were pretty cool too. I have them on my PlayStation account. I don't have them on my PC account. It makes me kind of sad. However, that mode was infinitely more fun than this entire game, mainly because it focused on one map, I think you had like 3 teammates, and then you basically got a certain amount of ops to pick and choose from. And that was back when Tachanka still mounted his turret. So, like, there was a whole reason, like, him having a turret mounted actually made sense in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Reinforcing the objective is also, like, creating defenses in Siege is also a gameplay mechanic within Siege. It doesn't really work well here, mainly because a lot of the locations you get, you're either being constantly hounded by enemy AI, which
I agree.
is annoying, and if it's a 3-person team, it's not really like viable. Like, you got to be like either on your A game, or like you're just not gonna have a great time. Like, we played it twice. You have one bad teammate, it fucks everything up.
Yes, sir.
And that's fine, because if it's gonna be extremely team based, then everybody's got to be on point. However, the first few levels shouldn't be that difficult for newer players to understand and grasp, but you're throwing enemies at them that barely look that different. Like, there's the standard zombie who blends in with the environment very well and only recognized if his face glows occasionally. Kind of reminds me of GTFO, how those dudes look. But the difference between those two games is that those dudes are literally dormant until you aggro them. The zombies or aliens or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be in Siege Extraction are literally always active, always like looking. And the moment you alert one, it's just you're constantly being found. Like, it's just like a Metal Gear Solid alert that doesn't go away. Kind of annoying. So you'll burn all your ammo by the time you get to the objective. Also, objectives are just not that fun to do. One's a stand in this very tiny spot scan objective, and like we did that, and then we failed, and it killed us. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I understand failing it and then, having to extract or having to move on to the next airlock, and you just failed it, you get no rewards, right? Like, if you don't save your operator, you got to try again later, type of situation. I was like, I that's what I was imagining. Instead, it just wiped us, and I was like, I was in the airlock. Like, I was like, oh, we're about to fail. We're getting overrun. There's nothing we can really do. I'm about to sit here, shut the door, and get ready for the next objective. Instead, we die because the timer ran out, because we didn't scan the alien gunk fast enough. It's not even like one of those things where it's like the enemy has like a super crazy attack and it kills everybody. Like, believable in that sense. It's just, oh man, the batteries on the scanner thing ran out, so you're dead. It's like, what? So yeah, so you got not really that fun enemy types, coupled with not really that fun objective play, coupled with not very inspired maps that are just a mishmash of shit. The literal opening cinematic starts off good, and then Ash opens her mouth, and then I'm like, okay, at first I'm like, all right, narration is fine during games like this because there's not going to be a lot of cutscenes already, right? At one point, she literally says, this shit could fucking destroy all life on the planet. Half a second pause, and then she says, literally. I'm like, who the fuck talks like that, especially when the world's at stake? Who's sitting here saying, it could destroy the world? Literally. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she walks in the room and everyone's working hard and shit, and then she's like, let's get to work. I'm like, who wrote the dialogue? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I'm just like, I'm being hypercritical on something that doesn't really matter that much, but I am just like, it feels like this game was kind of like, oh, they really like that zombie mode one time, let's slap something together for $60. Because they did try to sell this at $60.
Yeah, at one point.
And then it dropped down to 40. Now I think it's on sale. It's for like $20 now, which is probably what it's worth. However, I couldn't even get the buddy pass system to work. Like,
Yeah.
and I looked online. I know they delayed it, but we're well past the date that they said they delayed it by, so it should be working. But it's honestly, I downloaded the trial mode. You get 2 hours to play around with it, which is honestly, I don't feel like enough time to get you hooked on it, because you really end up just because it's a team-based game, so a lot of it's going to be dependent on your teammates helping you. Like, you can go in solo, but it's not recommended. Unless you just want to spend money and buy some turrets,
Mm.
They make costs like
that was
10
dumb.
react credits each, but the fact that you could just one of the gameplay like a gameplay gadget where you put down a turret, like a sentry turret, to hold your position. Mind you, I have a game that does this better, and it's not really as good. It's a $40 product. You want to know what it's called? It's called Aliens Fire Teams, or Aliens Colonial Marines Fire Teams, or whatever the fuck it's called. I played that all the way through. Has somewhat of a story, has actual fun gameplay against enemies. It is a bit repetitive because it's a wave-based shooter. However, you still don't have to fucking swipe your credit card to buy a sentry turret. It's a literal class or an item you could bring.
I just think, and I wanted to bring this up for, a nice little opening conversation, because this is the Ubisoft issue. This has been my issue with Ubisoft for a long time, is that they make a lot of very uninspiring video games. Like, the concept would be good if there was some type of inspiration behind it. Like, let's think about a game like Division's okay.
Division's mediocre across the board.
Let's think of a game like my favorite, which we should talk about on the podcast, because they did just announce that they're gonna stop supporting this game as of, I think, the end of this month. So there's gonna be no future DLC, no nothing, no more cosmetic microtransaction shit. And that game is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Very good game. There's a lot of good things in there. It's just very uninspired, because what they were trying to sell from the beginning
was a looter shooter.
Everything else was there. The world, the mill sim shit.
I think that's why people went to the first one, because it was a mill sim, and then you slapped in the artificial health mechanics. And
but the second game, to a lot of people, what we like about it is the second game is like kind of, it's very hyper realistic. You have to worry about stamina. You have to worry about detection. Then you might get shot the hell up to the point where now you're limping and you're in critical condition. These are all mechanics that we kind of want in a Ghost Recon game.
Yeah, because it's about
not
survival.
RNG loot. Yeah, I mean, not RNG loot.
Well, it should also, to the fact that the looter shooter is kind of dependent on the enemy having a health bar, and a game like Ghost Recon Breakpoint
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like the Division, for me, I say it's mediocre across the board, because it's literally Destiny, but if like no space shit, no aliens, nothing really cool. It's just I like at one point, I think in Division 2. My friend's like, oh, they have robots. And I go in there and they're like standard drone dog robots. And I'm like, this is not what I was expecting. I think the most entertaining boss fight in Division 2 is the dude with the flamethrowers.
I knew he was going to say that, because that was lit.
That was the most epic fight. I was like, yo, this dude's hype. Like, let's go. Like, that's how you do like shit like that, right? And they only did that like 1% out of that game. Yeah, and the rest of the game is just, I'm a dude. Like, between that dude and then summoning the secret ghost dudes who are actually like insane. Like the one that hunted us down to our spawn point, which was like he was just going through the city block, just wrecking people. I was like, yo, that's what I want to see in Division 2. I want to see shit like that. I don't want to see like, oh, we did the objective and killed the dudes with the bats. let's go do that again 45 more times.
Like, but that's what I'm saying is like that's the Ubisoft issues, that things are very uninspired. Like the overall concept is like, oh, okay, like Division 1 and Division 2 have a very Hollywood storyline to it. Like,
and that's
it has
fine.
a very good story. It's just there's a very uninspired game. They saw Destiny, they saw the success. They said, let's make our own.
I mean, what about the Battle Royale they were about to drop and then it got delayed probably indefinitely?
Oh, the Ghost Recon game again.
Yeah, another game where it would have been just a Modern Warfare Warzone clone mixed in with some call-in mechanic that like they ripped off a Battlefield or trying to, like, I see them calling a sniper tower and I was like, and a helicopter or just like sky drops into there. I was like, that's not realistic. Like, I would, if we're doing Ghost Recon, I would expect mechanics like covering yourself in mud and shit like that. Like, super sweaty. You get grazed by a bullet. You have like literally nanoseconds to react and shit. Like, super. Like, then I could see myself trying it out and maybe getting into it. Because then at that point, it's like an escape. Escape from Tarkov. So like, it'd be super sweaty and super realistic, and that's what I would want from a Battle Royale from Ubisoft. I think that's what they could have done. Like, yeah, you can have some airdrops, but like weapons, supplies, vehicles, but for the most part, it should play like Breakpoint before or after they removed the whole looter shooter aspect of it. Just hyper realistic.
I agree.
If there's mud on the ground, go underneath of it, create camouflage from the environment, like your own makeshift ghillie suit and shit. You know what I mean? Have shit tons of foliage and water that you can swim or hide in, cave systems, like shit like that, and make it so it's like the circle. Make matches incredibly long.
Yo, Eknight, listen. You're giving Ubisoft too many ideas, dog.
Yeah, but they're good ideas if
you're
you
giving
do
it to
right.
them for free.
No, because like these are the same motherfuckers that the developers of the UI for Assassin's Creed called out Elden Ring for having shitty UI because
I forgot
the game
about that.
Yeah. They got salty about it. I'm like, it's a good game and you're shitting on the UI. That's like all you got. And, it's not a 10 out of 10 because the UI is bad. Get the fuck out of here. The gameplay's phenomenal. Sit down. Good. Humble yourself. What'd you make? Good. Assassin's Creed?
It stresses me the fuck out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's like it's still like what? Assassin's Creed UI is like, there's a thing, here's another thing, here's another thing, here's another thing, here's a fetch quest, here's another thing. All right, occasionally the UI will fade out to go away so you can be more immersed in the world until you do combat or you trip over a log or you have to figure out where you're at, or like, I mean, like, it's just like, it's such a dumb argument that like an Ubisoft dev would make, and I'm like, I can't believe like you would call out someone else's success. Like, it's not even like a Lost Ark scenario where it's like, to me it looks like a mobile game MMO, right? And it's like everyone's like, oh, this game's great. I'm like, this is just a mobile game with like a shit ton of microtransactions in it. I don't understand why it's so popular, but all right, you do you. Like, I'm not shitting all over the game because it's successful and people like it.
The combat's good for Lost Ark. I think that's for me.
Yeah, and then like, and again, if that's the redeeming aspect that you like invest into it, more power to you. I personally played it and I was like, I'm just not having fun with it, and I put it down. There's still people playing the shit out of it. But I'm not going to shit all over Lost Ark because I don't really like the game that much.
No, I get it. But to go back to the conversation of why I said like uninspired is because, again, Extraction is a good idea on paper. It's just the execution and where it draws its inspiration from is very uninspiring. That's the same problem we have with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Rest in peace. I mean, hopefully they work on something better.
They're gonna
I
come
hope.
out with another
I
one.
think that's. Yeah, I
They're gonna
know.
come out with
And
another
and,
one.
and I hope that's what that means is that because from what I read from an article not too long ago, we may have talked about on the podcast, is that Ubisoft has kind of been learning their lesson lately with a lot of decisions they've been making with NFTs and games and the whole Ghost Recon Frontline and just again, we're not gonna make this into another do better podcast, but again, like Ubisoft, do better.
All right,
Do
I
better.
have one last thing because I
Okay.
didn't get to talk about is how extraction could have been.
Okay.
So keep it in the Siege universe. Get rid of the alien bullshit. All right, just keep it like a biological zombie outbreak, right? Setting wise. 2,
All right.
make the enemies not numerous. Make them strong, powerful, and slow. Have a few enemies that ambush you very quickly, but they're very easy to kill.
Okay.
Siege is based on slow, methodical gameplay, like tactical gameplay, right? Like, obviously, if you go on competitive Siege, you see dudes doing shit quickly, but the setup is slow, right? You got 30 seconds to prepare. You got to get shit done, but you got to do it in a specific way to get everything in order. And then once the round starts, you could be standing at the same angle for 3 minutes straight, or the action will all happen all at once. So Siege is like a high risk, high reward, slow yet kind of fast gameplay, like gunplay, right? If you have zombie enemies that are large, lumbering, prowling like predators throughout the halls of a giant map, you got an objective to do, kill the hive or whatever the fuck, rather than a bunch of bullshit enemies that run at you and then slap you. It would make the gameplay more interesting, more dynamic, more stealth based, because Siege is kind of like a stealth based shooter. You gotta sneak around a lot.
Facts.
And like more tactics based, because you have to work with your team. Maybe you get one guy to do a distraction, go over here, distract the big enemy who you can technically kill, but it would just be super hard and not really worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
So like if they made the gameplay more like that rather than you're here, go do the thing, right? I think it would have been a lot more
I see what you're getting at.
and more rewarding, and it'd probably be very popular in like the survival horror genre. Because that's honestly how they should have did it.
I think what Ubisoft needs to do is give us what we've wanted for about 10 years now. Give us a Vegas 3 or Rainbow Six Patriots.
No,
but real quick,
once Siege stops being profitable, that's when they'll give us something like that.
Well, Siege, that's something I wanted to bring up. I did see something on Instagram last night. I should have added that to our notes. That there's a variety of changes that are coming to year 7 of Siege. And I'm actually excited for this because I was actually talking to Rambo last night, and he brought up a good question of, do you think Siege is in a good spot right now? I said yes, because I think, and we'll talk about this later in the podcast. Trust me, this is going to be a recurring conversation within this podcast. I think the one thing that Ubisoft is doing with Siege is listening to the community. Because when I looked at that list of changes, like what they're going to be doing, new maps, reworking certain weapons, it said attacker repick, whatever the fuck that means.
It just means you can repick your attacker. So that way, like, when you play ranked, and this is this solves an issue that with all hero shooters that Overwatch kind of has solved by just having that option to begin with. You can repick your attacker during the drone phase. So
what?
Yeah, so when you're droning, like mid-match, you're droning, you see they got Doc, Jaeger, Wamai, a bandit, and like just an Oryx. Let's just say it's an Oryx, and you're like, oh, I brought fucking Montang. I brought Montang and Oryx counters Montang. So now you can switch Montang out for someone else. So this kind of balances out the whole gamble of trying to predict what strategy your opponent's trying to do.
Okay.
Because like before this, it was always, at least in ranked, not for competitive like pro league. For us, it was just like, oh, we're playing this
Pick
map.
who you play.
Well, no, it was that and we're playing this map. They're probably gonna bring these ops for this strategy in this room. And there's 4 rooms per map, so like you're basically playing problem stat, like statistically guessing what your enemy team's going to do. A lot of the time, the more popular, easier strats for defense do get claimed, but then there's always that odd curveball or so that ends up fucking you up for the entire match. So like,
that's fucking lit, dog. I'm not gonna lie, like. I'm kind of excited to get into Siege this year because I feel like
in Siege this year because they added TDM, which is a casual friendly.
Yes,
game mode.
yes, I saw that in the list.
I would like them to add more casual friendly game modes because Siege has always been a sweat fest. Like you play ranked, it's super sweaty. Yeah, sure. You play unranked, the place where you're supposed to practice new maps. No one wants to practice new maps. It's annoying as shit to play on maps that are not. Usually get banned and ranked, like Favela. You're supposed to bring your squad, practice on Favela against another team. You know, it's beneficial for both parties. Instead, it's usually 9 times out of 10, everyone bans the map that they're supposed to be practicing on anyway. So why are you playing unranked in the first place? You know what I mean? And then fucking quick play is literally like the R6 Invitational. You'll get the sweatiest of sweats in this game mode. Like you'll spawn in on house and just get instantly shotted from the bathroom. Like just no.
My man said it's the Invitational.
It is. It's a whole meme. Like this is where the people who hit diamond and fucking champion rank go to just fuck around. Like, and you have a whole separate MMR system for casual. So like mine's apparently really high. So I get matched with people who just shit on me on a regular basis.
Yeah, and Siege is looking good this year, man.
I want them to add more casual friendly mode. We're supposed to get a shooter practice range.
Yeah, I saw practice range. That
new map.
There.
And I think the new map's just a rework of
they
Bartlett.
said it's an actual there's 2 new maps coming.
Oh, it's 2. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like I said, for this game being in its 7th year and going this strong, I'm very happy.
The new op, what's her name? Azumi is very good. She's very creative. I want more ops like her.
What does she do?
She makes walls.
Ooh.
She has a kunai that you throw it to a certain wall, and depending on the angle, it'll create a little fan-like pancake wall that's bulletproof and takes 3 melees or an explosive to break. So basically, strategy, a fun little strategy that you can do with it is that you work with a Mira. She puts her Mira on a soft wall, and you throw a kunai at the bottom of the Mira, which will create a bulletproof thing. Instead of the wall being soft, now it's bulletproof. So you can basically crouch at the mirror, see the dude pop up top, do the classic mirror strategy, you know, like the double mirror strat, where you can just like shoot through the wall and kill someone. You can do that now more effectively without having to worry about your feet getting shot out. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Shit like that.
I'm definitely gonna. I was talking about it last night on stream. I think I might have to bring Siege Sundays back. We'll see. Siege looks like it's in a very good spot.
Yeah.
It was getting kind of stale for me. I think like year 6, year 5, it was getting kind of stale for me. But I'm looking forward, man. Like this all sounds very promising, very good. They got a mobile port coming out that looks decent. But same thing I told Rambo is that's gonna be something that you, it's on the mobile phone, but you're gonna have to have your phone plugged the fuck in. And you're gonna have to be on your Wi-Fi because that shit looks like it's gonna just kill your data and it's gonna kill your battery. So
Yeah, that seems like something you would download for the damn tablet or something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be surprised if someone emulates it on PC just so they have an advantage by playing on MK.
I mean, that's what they did with Call of Duty Mobile, so I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what they did with consoles, so like it can happen. But yeah, all in all, this year's Siege is probably the most positive it's been in a while. By the way, they're not ruining Smoke anymore, so yay.
That was good.
He can sniff his own farts again.
Yeah, that was kind of a step in the wrong weird direction.
It was just like one of those things that they tried to like, oh well, Smoke's too good, and it's like, no, Smoke's fine where he's at. It's like Sledge, his gun, the SMG-11, they took it away from him because the SMG-11 inherently was good. And Sledge has been an operator they have not really touched at all up until that point. So like literally years had passed and he has gotten no nerfs, no buffs really to his gadget or gun.
Glass over here looking like the fuck, man. He gets to keep that.
Glass I feel like should have an SMG.
Glass I feel like is just been nerfed to all hell.
He's all right where he's at now.
Yeah, he's in a good spot now, but I remember there was a point when he had 3 smokes, then they took one away, then they took another one away, then they were like, no smokes, then they were like, we'll give him this. It's just, oh my God, man.
Yeah, but at one point he was like top tier.
Yeah, he was.
His rifle was literally a 2-shot kill.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Then
they made a counter for him. They made a whole counter for him.
Who?
Counter the guy with the glasses. I thought that was his counter. I thought that was literally Glass's counter.
Warden?
Yeah.
No, that's, I mean, all right, so here's the trade-off of Warden. You have to stand perfectly still to see through the smoke, which is bad because Glass already can see through the smoke with his thermal scope, and it's much more apparent. So for Warden to gain that benefit of smoke, he needs to be kind of shiesty and like wait at a certain angle where he's not going to be seen immediately. But when you're bright and yellow on a screen,
yeah, hell yeah,
yeah, it's a wrap. So like he's more counter to Blitz and fucking Ying than anything.
Yeah, I know Ying for a fact just because
they're giving her 4 Candelas back.
What? Oh yeah, I'm coming back to Siege this season, baby. This shit's lit. They making all types of bad decisions.
They're giving her 4 charges, and they're giving Gridlock 4 charges.
Oh yeah, I'm coming back, baby.
So
we back.
It's gonna be crazy.
Follow me on twitch.tv/BlazeXinferno if you want to see some Siege. Gang.
Yeah, see him get wrecked.
Yeah, facts. I'm playing on PC now. But enough of Ubisoft, enough of Siege, enough of, I mean, it's good information though. But enough of all that. Rest in peace. I'm gonna pour one out for Breakpoint. Gone but not forgotten, man. You had potential, but Ubisoft saw $signs. Let's move on to the next topic for our motherfucking podcast. Like I said, we don't have a lot to talk about news article wise, but we just gave you a good conversation, and then we're gonna give you another one in a little bit. But right now, let's talk about what everybody's been talking about, baby.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced, dog. Crazily got announced.
Why is that crazy?
Because okay, all right, let's do the math again, right? I did the math. I did the math, right?
Okay.
We got to see Kingdom Hearts 3, quote unquote, in 2000. Let me make sure I'm correct about all this before I just start lying to y'all niggas.
Mm-hmm.
When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? Kingdom Hearts 2 came out
like 20 or 28,
2005, right? December 22nd, 2005. Then that's a weird time. I've never seen a AAA game come out 3 days before Christmas. That's crazy.
You know what? It makes sense.
It does, but 3 days before Christmas, god damn. Anyway, okay. So I probably saw the first trailer of I'm spitballing it here. I ain't even looking shit up. The first trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, quote unquote, because you know that I don't think that was what we ended up getting. We saw that first trailer, which was Birth by Sleep in what, 2007, 2008, maybe 2009. So, and Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in, what was that, 2019? That's 2019, right? Yeah, 2019, January 25th, 2019. Yeah. Fucking 14 years later.
It's a hell of a wait.
In there. You know what I mean? So we waited all that time.
Yeah.
And what, 2 years later, they announced Kingdom Hearts 4 and they got gameplay, like actual gameplay. That looked like really good. That was gameplay. That was gameplay, dog.
It didn't look like gameplay. It didn't feel like gameplay. I've seen Kingdom Hearts gameplay. It didn't look like it.
Well, they could be changing the engine to be more like Final Fantasy.
The engine is Final Fantasy 7, which is probably the same engine they used for Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, it's not. Kingdom Hearts 3 runs literally like Kingdom Hearts 2. Kinda.
We can just Google it.
I mean, I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3. I bought it and never played it. And that's going to be how we're going to talk about this conversation. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 29 years old. Like I tell everybody, Kingdom Hearts 3 to me would have been a big deal if it came out in 2009, 2010, and not 2019 when I was a grown-ass man. Okay. And you put every fucking Kingdom Hearts game known to man on every single console, made mobile ports, all types of, handheld ports, and you kind of just scattered the storyline all over the place.
It's the same engine. So okay. Final Fantasy 7 Remake runs on Unreal 4 engine, and so does Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay. So
and Kingdom Hearts 2 ran on in-studio engine.
Okay.
So yeah, they're the same game. The same game engine. I see Unreal 4 being Kingdom Hearts 4 because the quality looks different. I mean, slightly different, but it looks more like Final Fantasy 7, at least in the trailer. And I know the art style changes depending on what world they're in.
Yeah.
But like this base that they're going for, and the reason why I say it's not gameplay and why I feel like I can tell it's not gameplay is that at a certain point when he goes up to fight the giant monster, which is weird to me, it just feels a bit off. Do you understand? Like,
nah.
Like, I've been bamboozled before, I'm willing to admit that, but like, it just feels like it's too quick
for Kingdom Hearts,
for gameplay in general. Like, I think it's more of a proof of concept than it is actual gameplay. I take game trailers with a huge grain of salt ever since like Anthem.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
But like, either they're using like a different camera angle.
Listen, y'all. Anthem walks so Kingdom Hearts 4 can run. Just remember that.
It's either just, I guess it's the way the camera angles are set up, why it doesn't look like it's actual gameplay. It looks more like a movie.
Regardless of what it is. Over here, on Blaze Inferno's side, game looks good. Just like I'm going to say the same thing I said when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I hope y'all enjoy that shit, man. Because like, it's just a little too goddamn late, man. Y'all lost me after Birth by Sleep, dog.
I haven't even finished the first game. So.
Y'all play I played Birth by Sleep. I was like, okay. Kingdom Hearts 3 right around the corner. Then y'all gave us Kingdom Hearts 3 D, Dream Drop Distance, on the 3DS. So I'm like, fuck, now I gotta buy a 3DS because this is the continuation of Sora's story, and we need to know what's going on with Sora and Riku and all my friends and all this other shit. And I realized, man, I just don't care anymore. You lost me.
You lost me. Don't forget the, what is it, 365 days by whatever shit.
Oh, we forgot about that. I ain't even play that, John. But
that was on like the PSP or something?
Nah, it was on the PSP port was Birth by Sleep.
Oh, was that
365 days was a Nintendo DS, John.
And don't forget the tablet game.
Oh, Union Cross, whatever.
Yeah.
That joint's lit though. I did play Union Cross. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's just like Kingdom Hearts has always been kind of a weird franchise to me because they had like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then it's like Kingdom Hearts spin-off series 3, 4, 5, 17. And
Don't
then
forget Chain of Memories. Don't forget. Don't forget Chain
that
of Memories.
That other game that seems totally related, but it's not really that related to the series. What is it called?
Oh, my fault. There is a mobile game coming out before Kingdom Hearts 4 too. It's called something Links, something
Keyblade.
Look, man. I'm not trying to. If you're 35 years old and you enjoy this shit, that's cool. I'm a little too old to be running the fuck around with Donald and Goofy, dog. I just ain't feeling it no more.
Didn't
man.
Donald get a gat?
Like, I will still play Kingdom Hearts 2 to this day, though. Like, just saying. Kingdom Hearts
Donald's got a strap, though, right?
Yeah, but we still don't give a fuck, man.
Man, Donald's like the perfect one to have a gat. Because he ain't no healer.
Y'all enjoy this goddamn game, man. Y'all tell me how it is. I'm just saying,
take the game trailer with a grain of salt.
And don't overhype this like y'all did Kingdom Hearts 3, because Kingdom Hearts 3 came out on the 25th of January. Y'all was quiet by the fucking 30th. Like,
yeah, because there was no Sephiroth.
I thought they were playing the game, and then I realized like it was mid. I realized that Kingdom Hearts 3 was hella mid.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was just them trying to get it out on a regular like console. And it was the first time they dropped it on everything. It's the first time Kingdom Hearts ever came to fucking Xbox. When you write a whole story that's as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts 3, then yeah, I feel like it's gonna take you forever.
I mean, it's only convoluted if you never played Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, 365 Days Over 2, Dream Drop Distance. If you play, 1 and 2, you're gonna play those, but you gotta play all the other shit. You gotta play Chain of Memories, dog.
I'm not doing it.
Listen, when I found out Chain of Memories was canon, I lost my shit, and I think that right there was like, okay, I'm kind of done with Kingdom Hearts, because what I never knew or never understood as a kid when I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and I played Kingdom Hearts 2 was like, whoa, how the fuck did Sora end up in this thing? Like, how did he get here? What is going on? And I figured out this whole Game Boy Advance game, card battling game, that's fucking canon, dog. Square Enix, suck, kiss my ass, man. Kiss my ass. You know what I mean?
In other news,
I'm interested in playing that Final Fantasy Origins game, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I have not seen that yet.
I found out it was an origin story to the first Final Fantasy game, and I was like, yo, that is a lit concept. Because for those that don't know, Final Fantasy 1 probably has one of the best and most simple stories out of all the Final Fantasy games. So for it to have an origin story, that's pretty dope. Because Final Fantasy 7 didn't make sense to me until I played Crisis Core. I was like, okay, this is why Cloud is like this. This is why we're playing as the bad guy, good guy.
Crisis, Final Fantasy 7, the entire storyline is just great.
Exactly.
Because like when they added Crisis Core, I was playing it. I was like,
cherry on top.
Yeah, cherry on top. Even the gameplay was solid for just like
Dirge of Cerberus was a weird ass fucking third person shooter, but it made sense.
I remember
it was fucking lit.
I remember that he plays the vampire dude, right?
Yes, my boy Vincent, nigga.
I can't wait for him to come back in the remake. Like that's the whole reason I still have a PlayStation, just so I can play that. But yeah,
I gotta
honestly,
beat that game.
What remake?
Yeah, I ain't beat
it. It is long.
Don't tell me that.
It is very long for where you're at. It's only one section of the entirety of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I know.
So like they made it long, and it's not bad.
Oh, great.
So I don't want to spoil nothing for you. So we'll talk about it after you beat it.
All right, we'll be talking about it on episode 335 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast.
Is that after you beat all the Kingdom Hearts gameplay?
That is never going to happen. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Just please don't overhype this game, y'all. I see y'all excited. I'm excited for y'all, but let's remember that Kingdom Hearts 3 was hella mid, all right? And I ain't even played, but I could tell by everybody's reaction when it came time for Game of the Year. Nobody was like, "Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is totally gonna win it." You know what I mean? Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't even get a fucking honorable mention. You know what I mean? We was too busy talking about fucking Ghost of Tsushima. Well, I didn't think that came out that year. I forget what came out 2019, but yeah, we're getting off topic. Let's talk about games that aren't coming out in 2020. I mean, 'cause there's a lot of game delays.
2020?
2022, my fault.
Damn.
I mean, this is technically 2020 because this is 2022.
Shut the fuck up.
2022.
Get out.
Man.
Get out.
All right. That's the end of this podcast.
Get the fuck out.
No, but real shit. Let's talk about the games that got delayed in 2022 because there's a lot of them. Some because of the things that are going on in the world that we're not going to talk about because it's political. But there's a lot of delays, man. There's a lot of fucking delays. Expected, you know what I mean? We're still kind of in a panorama, pandemonium. Yeah, I mean, we in some shit right now. So games are gonna get delayed, and we're gonna talk about what got delayed. So the first one, because what's going on in the world right now, is sadly Stalker 2, man, which is a game that's dropping on Game Pass, I believe, and I'm a little upset about this delay, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's a Ukrainian studio, I believe.
Yeah.
So
don't expect this to get done anytime soon, like at all. If you're a Stalker fan, unfortunately. Yeah. So, for reasons that we're not going to go into, because again, this is a gaming podcast. We're not about to deep dive into political issues that we're not going to talk about and have no real firsthand knowledge about. So I'm like, for the most part, it's unfortunate. I wanted to try this game out, but you know, hopefully it'll release within a couple of years.
Hopefully, because they delayed it by 7 months and 10 days. It's supposed to come out April 28th, which is in 2 weeks. And it's supposed to come out December 8th now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see about that, man. We got the Ghost Runner DLC thing that's supposed to come out. Yeah, I guess it came out already. Never mind. I'm late on that. That came out. So Dying Light 2 for the Switch.
I'm just surprised if that runs on Switch like decently. I'm gonna be just surprised.
Yeah, I'll be surprised too. But it went from February 4th, the same day it came out on consoles and PC, to unannounced at a later date. You know what I mean? So they're saying like 6 months or something like that. The Life is Strange Remastered Collection for Nintendo Switch went from February 1st to later this year. So you probably already know about that one as well. Battlefield 2042 Season 1.
Yeah, that keeps getting shut down.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's probably going to get free to play, if anything.
If it goes free to play, I want a refund.
Yeah, it's probably going to go free to play.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna get too deep
into
it.
Talk about it.
I don't
want
to get into it. It's literally all they had to do was not introduce hero shooters, and they still have people playing it, like bugs and all. That's the issue. Like that's the main issue.
EA lost all respect from me. I'm just saying that.
EA never had respect.
They didn't, but I thought this was gonna be. We're not gonna get into it, but I thought this was gonna be a good game, and I was sadly.
They used too much nostalgia hype to hype it up. Like the dude with the fucking rocket launcher jet shit. Yeah, they did a lot of community shit in their trailers. And they didn't show off any of the heroes until like right when it was about like to drop the beta. We played the beta. I had fun with the beta, but that was only because I had my friends. I didn't really like playing it by myself too much. And
Yeah.
I do have a video sitting in my backlog that I need to get out. That's literally just like one of the ops, Dozer. You can like fly with him.
Wow. Wow.
You just run out a ladder and it just takes you to whatever direction you end up going into. And me and Julio got like thousands of meters off the ground. Like we went way past the vehicle skybox that we were allowed, and we just kept going. Like it's actually pretty cool in my opinion because it's how big the environment to contain the players is. But at the same time, it's like that glitch I wouldn't be so like butthurt about the game being glitchy and buggy if it was just like, oh, if you got the shield, you can do this shit. You know what I mean? Instead, it's literally just one op.
I wish it was just fun.
Yeah, they have a whole chick that can see through walls, and I remember talking to Runa about it. I was like, she's gonna be broken. He's like, no, she's not. No, she's not. And then we unlocked her, and she was fucking broken. Like any objective game
Just
type,
like
she's
that
broken.
hit detection.
She can, yeah, and that's the crazy thing is that she can get a pre-fire off and actually kill someone before the game fucks up. So like,
Crazy.
yeah, they do a lot of unnecessary nerfing to some ops, but not others. Like you have one op that's like literally the wingsuit op has grenades for every occasion.
Yeah.
Basically makes playing vehicles a living nightmare.
Yeah, that's who I
Can
play
also
as.
run rockets because you can do whatever you want, right? When rockets used to be relegated to the engineer class, and you had to be the engineer to take out vehicles.
Oh man, we got all right. Never mind. I opened up a can of worms.
That's what I said. I don't want to keep going
because the game is just.
We already talked about this.
Fuck that game. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League got delayed.
And that looked actually cool. That looked like a Guardians
This
of the
is the hurt piece. Yeah, this is the hurt piece, dog. This and another one we're gonna name is definitely the hurt piece because, this game looked good, man. It looked fucking good. Like I kind of wanted this to come out.
Yeah, it looks like. Is it not the same? It looks similar to this. It's Rocksteady,
the
right?
Arkham games. Yeah, it's literally the Arkham games.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, but it's also like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing there because like you could play as different dudes. I don't know. Was it multiplayer or is it single player? Oh no, it's 4 players.
Yeah, it's 4 players.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, it's co-op. Then you got Halo Infinite co-op. That's another co-op game.
Honestly, like as a Halo player, co-op wasn't at the top of the list of things, but this does kind of disappoint me because it's like
I know people that are waiting on it.
Halo Infinite Sandbox is actually fun as shit to play in. So
hell yeah.
I'm like having a friend to do stupid shit with would be awesome. But yeah.
And it would be something that, Halo Infinite doesn't have. It'd be content.
But to segue to because after that, that's like no, that's all that's been delayed so far.
No, we got like 3-4 more big games.
What games?
We got probably the biggest game for me of this year that was supposed to come out. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh, not Advance Wars 1, 2 Reboot Camp.
I'm a little excited about that, just a little bit, just a little bit, because that was my shit. But
yeah,
Forspoken, it's still coming out this year. But Forspoken was a game I was excited about. But my game of the year was definitely going to be Breath of the Wild 2. And it got delayed till next year. And that's why, me and Ian and I had a little conversation before the podcast started. I think a lot of these delays are due to Elden Ring. A lot of these games, they want the accolades. They want they want to be able to put on their box that this was the game of the year and this, that, and the third.
No, that doesn't make any sense because
it makes a lot of sense.
Because people who love Zelda aren't going to be playing fucking Elden Ring. Elden Ring's not on Switch.
Here's what a YouTuber said, and I ain't gonna tell you what YouTuber said. Because they're not paying. They're not shouting me out. But a YouTuber said they may be delaying Breath of the Wild 2 looking at the success of Elden Ring and say, okay, because Zelda's already a game that takes a lot, especially Breath of the Wild, takes a lot of inspiration from other games. So is Elden Ring. Elden Ring takes a lot of inspiration from a lot of different games.
Like what?
I mean, not only itself from Dark Souls, Bloodborne,
I mean, it is a Souls game,
Sekiro.
so taking inspiration from its own game franchises isn't exactly taking inspiration.
Talk about this another time. We're going off topic.
This is not off topic because it's literally.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to see.
I believe.
I'm trying to see why The Legend of
Okay,
Zelda 2,
Listen,
an already
listen.
established open world game that is highly popular and successful, would delay itself making money from its already niche fan base, which is in Nintendo Switch land. What more could they add that would come from Elden Ring?
I'm gonna tell you.
Besides being incredibly hard.
I think Elden Ring, and we talked about this on the last podcast, Elden Ring set a standard, dog. It set a standard with these games now. And it didn't set a high standard. We talked about this on the live podcast.
Yeah, it's not a high standard.
It's not a high standard. It
that
just
should be achieved all the time.
All the time, exactly. It came out a working game, $60, and it was worth the action. Right. Yes. And all the attention being on Elden Ring right now. Elden Ring is going to be this decade. We talked about this. It's going to be this decade Skyrim. It's going to be this decade Skyrim. Every game that comes out like it, well, is it like Elden Ring? Just like every game that came out like Skyrim, well, is it like Skyrim? Is it like this? Does it do that?
Yeah.
Does it do this?
Yeah.
But Elden Ring set, in my opinion, and Skyrim's one of my favorite games of all time, it set a higher standard because
it wasn't broken.
Exactly.
It wasn't unfinished. It was
worth $60.
It was worth $60.
And a lot of people, even myself included, and I ain't even that far in the fucking game, I actually would like more content, even if I had to pay for it.
The crazy thing is that Elden Ring has a shit ton of content. It's just well hidden.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You got it encourages exploration while it's a hard game.
And I'm peeping that. And I'm doing a lot of exploring.
It's a hard game, like combat wise. But other than that, it's just all about exploring. Like this is also going back to my point, is why I don't understand why that would affect Breath of the Wild 2. Unless they were planning on releasing it unfinished and broken, which then I would agree. Yeah, delay that shit. However, Breath of the Wild 1 and Breath of the Wild 2 don't look that different. And
I think they just want to mimic the success of Elden Ring. I think right now the standard is to achieve what Elden Ring did, man.
Because if it was supposed to come out in spring this year, and it's not coming out until a whole nother year, it was practically finished, dude. So
I think they want to add some Elden Ring like shit to it. Maybe some bosses all over the map.
They have those though. They have giant bosses all over the map.
They did, but they weren't. Listen, dog.
They weren't hard enough, right?
We'll talk about this on episode 60 of the ENFERNAL Gaming Podcast when the game comes out.
Why? It's slow news week. We might as well talk about it now.
I mean, I just.
Unless you gotta take a shit.
I'm just kind of spitballing, to be honest.
But okay. No, that's.
I do believe that Elden Ring has scared a lot of these developers because
as it should.
We the standard again is not the bar is not that fucking high, dog.
Listen, Cyberpunk.
But when you got games like Cyberpunk
down the hill, so Elden Ring could soar.
Listen, dog.
It's no, because Cyberpunk is the low standard of how you should release a game.
Yep.
And now we have Elden Ring, which is the golden standard. And I say golden as in like the very minimum of how games should be released.
And it's sad that we got to say it like
minimal bugs, no microtransactional bullshit.
Yeah,
right?
It's sad, dog.
It's very sad. It's very sad that we have to say this. And it's not understanding the task of creating games, because I know that's incredibly hard, difficult, and time consuming. But it's just like you want us to buy it, you want to support your franchise, and that's that's the trade-off. Let's see, I pay $60, and you give it. I'm one of many people who pay $60. You give me product that you advertise to me as such, and if it is not as advertised as such, then I'll be disappointed and probably won't buy your future products.
Yeah,
it's simple business transaction. The problem is that when the publisher gets involved, usually they go, make this the most annoying game mechanic ever. Case in point, Halo's customization system in Halo Infinite. In one of the trailers, it's like we have millions of options for customization.
Oh yeah, and they're all locked behind the fucking store.
They're all locked behind the store, and they're all restricted to each armor core. Emphasizing on how you have to buy the future cores to get certain items. Like, I can't mix my Yori or my armor core with my Mark 7 shit. Like, I'm not gonna go into a rant about it, because it's been said, it's been done. It's just an example of false advertisement that, and just on that, they are planning on fixing that across the board, at least for certain parts of the armor. So maybe we'll get some sort of middle ground. Who knows? Anyway, my point is that you advertise a game, it comes out broken, busted. Like, it's not like a situation where it's like Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2, people just didn't like the story. Gameplay wise, it's still fine. Aesthetic wise, it still works. It's a completed product. People just didn't like the story.
Yeah, true.
And that's a standard. That's the Elden Ring standard right there. Because even though people didn't like the story, it's still a fucking completed product.
It's true.
So, like, there's that. And then, like, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the game I'm playing on stream right now with a bunch of people. Full release, $60. I get character customization, full game, no DLCs, no Tiny Tina coins, multiplayer. Only issues I've had with it, some server bugs. Right, can't connect.
Is that game crossplay?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crossplay. That's the Elden Ring standard right there, right?
Exactly.
Is the story super amazing and great? No, it's kind of mid so far, but there's some epic moments, and like its general gameplay is pretty fun, and it's even better with friends. So, like, still gold standard because it's a finished game, and it did what it advertised. It was more Borderlands, more Tiny Tina, more guns. So, like, that's and then we can just like rank them based on the, like, oh, I didn't like the story part for this, or this gameplay mechanic could be improved upon, and that's fine, but it's still a completed product, right? Rainbow Six Extraction to me is not meet that gold standard, because to me it doesn't seem like a finished game.
Exactly.
It seems like a concept, and that's kind of an issue. And it does work. It's just a horribly poorly executed concept. Halo Infinite falls short of the Elden Ring standard. You get the campaign and story, and if that was the only part of the Halo game that we were playing, I'd say yeah, technically would meet that standard, but it's not. Even though the multiplayer is free to play, it's still linked together with the campaign.
Facts.
And you're missing features for the multiplayer, so, and the campaign. So therefore it falls short. It's not finished. Fundamentally kind of broken in certain things. It needs to be improved upon. So there's, like, if we're going to use Elden Ring as a standard of finished games, like what game should release as upon release, not Battlefield 2042, which is 100% fundamentally broken. Disregarding what the fans want, just broken out the gate.
Yeah.
then we gotta.
That's the EA golden standard, man. That's EA's golden.
Yeah, that's how
standard.
Siege launched. That's how Assassin's Creed usually launches. That's how
Live service,
okay.
baby. Live service.
Oh wait,
Live
I really
service.
said Assassin's Creed and Siege, didn't I? And you said EA.
But to go back to piggyback off of what you're saying,
I think the only EA game that's came out that launched 100% unbroken has been Titanfall.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Are you
Fallen
talking about?
Order?
That's more. I mean, Respawn did that too.
True. Respawn is lit.
I think it's the Respawn standard because like every game they've launched actually works. I mean, like Battlefront 2 had issues.
Apex is okay sometimes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I mean, the golden standard's changed, dog. It has changed. It has changed. Witcher 3 is another game that, held up to that gold. Didn't. Just a sleeper hit, man.
What,
and
Witcher?
I think that's what put CD Projekt Red underneath, dog. Witcher 3 was a game that a lot of people were like, ooh, this looks interesting. Let's play it. We don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
We play it. It's fucking awesome. It's amazing.
Story's good.
And we just like, damn, they can do this in something completely different, bigger.
And then they didn't.
Yeah.
Even without the pandemic, I feel like Cyberpunk would have fell short.
It did come out in 2020. You're right. Shit, it did come out in 2020. I always forget when that game comes
like
out.
A bunch of times.
Yeah.
It was announced in 2014.
Yeah.
So, you do the math. It's a long time.
But that's the games that I'm interested in. Well, I think that our audience will be interested in. Delayed so far, because I guess people been listening to the Infernal Gaming Podcast. They heard episode 29. They're like, damn, we got to do better. So they doing better, man. So I mean, do better, y'all. Do better, because like I said, Elden Ring did nothing extraordinary in my eyes. It is just a complete product.
They added
the way a game should be.
They added a horse, and jumping. Like that's probably the new and it's an open world. Like this is the 3 top tier new things that the Soul series just got introduced to.
Sekiro had a horse, but I might be true.
Did they?
I don't know.
I didn't play Sekiro. I know there was stealth mechanics in Sekiro.
Yeah.
And a grappling hook.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could jump or not.
Yeah, that's it for that.
Yeah.
Eknight, you got to play Fortnite, man.
Yeah, it was alright.
You got to play Zero Build, man.
I can see why children spend thousands of dollars on it, though.
Facts.
That UI is fundamentally meant to make you ADD.
Just facts.
Yeah, it's worse. It's almost as bad as when they what's it called, the Fight the Storm mode was still out.
What the fuck was that?
That was what Fortnite was supposed to be before it became a huge Battle Royale hit.
Oh, you mean the Save the World shit?
Yeah, Save the World shit.
Yeah,
if you ever went into the menus for Save the World, it is just a hot mess.
Are you serious?
Yo, it is so terrible.
God damn.
So terrible.
God damn. Yeah, man. But how was the experience? Tell the listeners, man. How was the experience with playing that, man? You know, you play a lot of Apex like me. You know what I mean? We're playing Fortnite without all the building. I gave y'all my take on it last podcast. Now it's Eknight's turn.
It's just Fortnite, honestly. I mean, like, they added, like, I see what the hype was, but that hype seems to have died down a bit since then.
A bit. I think
it did. And like the move mechanics are nice, but it's like, again, it's Fortnite. So like I have previous history playing Fortnite and I wasn't always like a huge fan of it and shit.
but the movement does nothing for you. Because I think, and this is going to be our main topic for this podcast is battle royales. Man, they still around. 4 or 5 years after everybody said they were going to be dead, nobody's going to be playing them. There's even more of them coming out in 2 weeks. Blood Hunt, the Masquerade, which is the Vampire the Masquerade. The Battle Royale game comes out. And there's another Battle Royale, I think, that's coming out. I can't remember what the fuck it was. I seen it. I can't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, you got Blood Hunt. They're still coming, dog. These Battle Royales, they still coming out. And they're still going strong. And the top three, you gotta give it to is Warzone, Apex, Fortnite. And they kind of all fight for, viewership on YouTube, Twitch, and all that jazz. Fortnite definitely took the show for like 2-3 weeks. I think it still kind of has that flame. I gotta look. Just because I think what happens with these Battle Royale games, and this is, like I said, the topic, is they get kind of stale after a while, man. They get like, I feel like everybody moves at the same time. And when everybody moves at the same time, it just kind of fucks the community up. So there's a time when there was perfect balance. You had your Fortnite kids, you had your Warzone sweats, and you had your Apex people. Warzone is trash right now. Ain't nobody playing Warzone. So everybody's coming over to Apex. Warzone's numbers on Twitch have been horrible for like months now. Almost
that don't mean nobody playing it. It just means nobody watching it.
But it's not what I've. It isn't.
Listen, if that was the case, Halo Infinite's community would be struggling to find games, and that's
dead. It's dead.
It's not dead. It's not dead.
Dead.
It's not. Listen, I can jump on Halo Infinite right now and find a game right now.
Okay,
it's not dead. It's just
we're all playing ODST Firefight now, though. We don't give a fuck.
I know. I love ODST Firefight. They added the flood. It's fucking fantastic. They should do more with Halo Reach, and hopefully they'll add that in Halo Infinite.
They should do more with Halo Infinite. What the fuck? They stop going back to the last game.
The last games are actually good.
Go back to the new John and
the
fix
Bungie games.
Shit.
OG Bungie games are good because like literally nothing that 343 has put out so far has been fantastic in my eyes. Halo Infinite was the only one that had potential, and it fucked up. So with all that being said, Apex has been a wave for a while now. Yeah.
You guys have heard me if you watch me on twitch.tv/BlazeXInferno. Tell you guys that Apex is in a nutty state right now, man. It's weird. It's kind of got that siege problem where. You go into certain game modes and people are sweating. Like I feel like when you play ranked, ranked,
do you know how the matchmaking works in Apex? Because it's not like Siege.
Well,
so real quick, it's pretty much your last game's performance. If you did really well in the last game, you get matched with people who did really well as well. So like
sounds like skill-based matchmaking.
It is, and though the difference between that and like a TDM in fucking Call of Duty is that you may be getting paired up with people who still are on your same skill level, and it's only for one match, not like it's weird like that. So I'll jump into a match on Apex and I'll drop 8 kills as you saw. By the way, that damage thing, it doesn't really track too well.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, if you drop a bunch of people in the early game of the game, you're not going to do a shit ton of damage.
This is facts because everybody's only got what,
like 50 shields. Yeah. No, 125 is like the red Evo shield. Like I think each shield slot is 25 damage. Okay. So you have 50 shields when you drop.
Okay.
So like at max, if you
which is my problem with Apex. That's one of my issues with Apex.
My issue, well, I mean, like we're a bit off topic, but like the damage versus kills argument is like whichever one. It seems like you need to have a healthy balance of both.
Exactly.
But if you do a shit ton of damage, but you get no kills and you have to get revived every 2 seconds, doesn't necessarily say I don't think you're like that great.
Okay. Not to put my mans out there, right? But that game that I showed you where I had like, I think I had like 6 kills, but I had like 15k damage, 16k damage, whatever.
1,300, I believe.
Yeah, I had a nice amount of damage. And then you have Mayabuki, you know, not putting him out there. That's my guy. I love him to death. That's my Friday night fight partner. But he had 0 kills, 5 assists, and like 1 knock. But he had like 1,000 damage. You know what I mean? He was consistently in gunfights. That's all that means. Like that's what I was trying to say that day. Is that
I mean
damage? Damage just means that you're consistently.
Okay, but like I also have been in arenas matches where the guy that's going for the most damage is the most reckless and usually gets downed a lot and dies.
I mean,
and contribute.
Who you playing with, man? Who you playing?
Randoms. I solo queue.
I was about to say, man, because
so like I jump into
I'm getting 3K nice.
I jump into an arenas match and I get this sweaty toxic player that immediately rushes, tries to do a 1v3, gets killed, starts bitching, and then at the end of the match it's like we lose. He's got 2 kills, 2k damage. What did you exactly contribute? Exactly. Like what does that tell me? That you're more worried about the numbers of your damage than actually winning the match?
Nah, that's not what it is, man.
That's what it feels like, though. That's what it feels like.
At least that man can say he's one shot.
That's what they always say, and then by the time you get over there, they're healed up back to full. Like
you can ask Mayabuki and why. Every time I say the guy's one shot, he is literally one shot, dog. Like that man's going down. That man's going down. I'm putting a couple more rounds in him, and it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that right now Apex is in a spot right now where it is. For me, it's enjoyable because I'm as I've said before, I'm gonna say it on the podcast. I'm not a good Apex player. I'm not a bad Apex player. I'm okay. I'm decent. I'm all right. I can shoot. I can rotate very well. I can understand I don't do this shit no more. I can understand, you know, my character, my abilities, my role. I can kind of choreograph and like read where the circle's gonna be, so I can position myself and do all types of things. I'm decent at Apex, and I think that's what keeps me playing Apex, is because I want to consistently get better. I want to get better at the game. I actually sometimes enjoy the fact that Apex is in a really sweaty place. A lot of people have been complaining about it lately. A lot of the pros have been complaining that Apex is the sweatiest it's ever been because all the Warzone sweats came over to Apex.
I'm going to sit here and say this. It needs a casual mode like Siege needs a casual mode. Just something for fun and not...
Well, they did drop it. It's super fun. It's called Control.
Control? All right. I haven't tried that out yet.
It's fun. Try it.
I know. Arenas is sweatier than the BR mode.
Yeah. Listen, dog.
And 19 times more toxic.
Yeah, so, Arenas is bad, dog.
Yeah, no, it's honestly trying to I like the concept of Arenas. I just think it just needs a few more tweaks before it's there yet.
It wasn't sweaty when it first came out.
It was super sweaty when it first came out.
Arenas was normal. Arenas was easier back in the day.
I was getting cursed back in the day for surviving. Like.
Listen, I'm just trying to
cursed out every fucking day.
I'm just trying to say this.
What game were you playing, dog? What game were you playing, dog? Because it was not the game I was playing. I was getting teammates that either would drop trout the first dude that they saw and just whiff all their shots, get down, scream at me because I was. playing life.
You're just not that guy, man.
I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not the guy.
You're just not that guy. When it first came out, see,
Okay.
I'm blaming. I'm with fucking Warzone 1.
Right. Which was letting you earn guns. Now you just buy them. COD points all the way, my dude. Am I right? Am I right, dude? You know,
the problem with Warzone is this.
That bundle that you like to buy at the beginning of every battle pass. Now I'll just buy the whole battle pass instead.
Listen. Let me tell you something. The problem with Warzone is this. I'm gonna put it on wax. It's a problem with Warzone. The problem with Warzone is loadouts. All right, I don't like loadouts. There was a time, maybe like the second or third season of Warzone being out, where you could do a classic Battle Royale game where you literally jumped out the plane with no pistol. You couldn't collect money. You had to use only ground weapons.
That's fine.
They took it away
because it's not what their audience wants.
Because that's problem number 2, is that Warzone always brings new things out and takes them away. Like Rebirth at one point was just a limited time thing.
Yeah.
And they took it away and the community went ballistic because
that was
people
the
were
first
tired.
Map.
Yeah. And it was just like,
because the last map that they quote unquote came out with was the same map, but it had grass.
Yeah, like Verdansk, people want Verdansk back now. And it's like, I think about it. I don't know why. I don't know why they won't do that, man. We got
Apex has like 3 maps.
Yeah, every season it takes one away and puts one in.
Yeah, but it revamps each map every season.
Yeah. I'm glad World's Edge is not in this.
To a point where it's somewhat drastically different. Like I miss original Kings Canyon, but I do like new Kings Canyon too.
I miss Skull Town. That's it.
It's yeah. That was a shit show. But going back to that, it's just like I don't think Apex is any sweatier than it's already been. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think the COD kids coming over makes it any less more sweatier.
It's definitely more sweatier because all of these tournaments, these kids gotta go in the pubs to get practice, learn strats with their team for all these like $2,000, $3,000 prize pool tournaments.
$1,000, $3,000? I thought it was more than that.
Well, though, if you just go on Z League, you can easily sign up for $1,000.
Bottom tier. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what people do now. Is like they do a lot of that shit. So, with all that being said, I think Fortnite is the easy medium between Warzone and Apex, and that's why I think I enjoy Fortnite because it's not as sweaty to me. It's not as sweaty. You do have your sweats. You're always gonna have a sweat. But it's not as
like one-shotted when we played, so
I mean that's just niggas being nice.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like
I was standing still though. He better crack me.
Fortnite, it's not the game for me.
I think I'm enjoying it for right now. I think it's got like another 2-3 weeks, and I'll be like, okay, like I'm ready to just.
No build mode is nice and all, but it's like at the same time, it's like.
Once we start season 13 of Apex, I think I will not give a fuck about Fortnite. Because I think season 13 is going to be.
When's that coming out?
We got 28 days left in the season, so.
Oh, it's the next month?
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it because I think next season is going to be bad with the new leaked character.
The shield guy?
If you have him, a lifeline on your team, and a Gibraltar, that's going to be a bad fucking time, dog. And you know everybody's going to run that.
No different than having a Seer, a Bloodhound, and any op that provides vision, like impairs your vision.
Dog, his passive is crazy.
What's it do?
he can drag down allies to cover.
Okay,
Basically
there's
what I did
probably
to you
going to be a
yesterday.
movement debuff, though.
Yeah, but he can just throw up a shield. Gibraltar can shield him.
The shield is his ultimate.
What's his
I think his Q is something else.
the fuck is that man's tactical?
Pretty sure his shield is his ultimate because he ground pounds it and it goes up and it has like an energy force field too.
Yeah.
I don't know what his tactical is. I forget what it is. I think it's something that's like chill.
Yeah, they basically took Lifeline shield and put it on him, basically, from what I heard.
Lifeline's shield was like an invulnerable energy shield. His is literally like something you put on the ground.
Do you remember back when she got the drone?
Yeah.
And she had the fucking shield? That was fucking...
That was actually when I was like peaking with Lifeline, because like...
Of course!
You can shoot back over the shield, defending. I actually love that. That was like where she was like the most clutch op.
Yeah, I heard a rumor they might be bringing the shield back for Lifeline.
I mean, if she gets it back, then I feel like she'd be all right.
Yeah, because Lifeline is like, out of all the legends right now, she's considered like
she's
tier
fine.
2, tier 3.
She's fine where she
bad.
is right now.
Yeah.
I think that the being able to revive down teammates without having to be there is clutch.
I seen a list and somebody put Caustic as tier 0, and I was like, whoa.
It depends on how you use them. Again, a lot of these heroes synergize well with others.
Yeah, that's why I love this game, though. That's why I love Apex, because it's like...
Okay, so his tactical is mobile shield, and it deploys a controllable drone, which allows the player to move it to the player's comfort. It's either going to play like an echo, or it's going to be like...
Yeah, like a crypto thing.
I think it's a directional, where you just tell where to point, rather than actually holding it, like controlling it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a directional, so you just tell it where it points.
Who do you think right now is the best 3 legends in Apex?
Lifeline, Seer, and I'm gonna go with Horizon.
Okay, I'm gonna go Valk, Gibby.
I like Valk, but I don't think she's the best.
And I'm gonna say Horizon too, because I do get fucked by Horizon.
Horizon's that one. That's her Q, right? The jump. Yeah, that's her Q.
I don't have her, so
yeah, that's her Q. The jumping is her. That's like her best ability.
Yeah, that shit's nuts.
It's great for you, your teammates, and her
These
passive allows you to
rotations.
move around better in the air. So like, yeah, it's perfect. She's basically like top tier in my opinion.
Yeah,
because she's not selfish, and her ult is super strong. Just pull people in, launch a few arc stars, watch the chaos unfold, mop them up.
Yeah, I think Gibby's up there
Watson,
too.
Though.
Yeah, Watson
Watson
I put in tier 1. She's pretty good.
Nah,
Her
I feel like
ult's
she's
pretty
tier
good.
2 because her Q is super situational. It's very hard to do that like mid gunfight, like drop a bunch of fences.
The walls, yeah.
And then her ult though, she can have 3 down at a time, and if you have 3 at a time, because I've done this before, you basically just turn into like an infinite shield factory. Your shields just recharge super quick, and it's anti-grenades, yeah, and they last a decent long time, time too. So like
they do.
She's tier 2 for me though.
I think Valk is tier 0 only because one of the most important things with Apex is information, and the fact that she can get a lot of information.
Yeah,
jump
but
up in the air.
Trade-off is like revealing your location.
It's not that bad of a trade-off, though. There's always going to be a trade-off. That's not that bad of a trade-off. It could be way worse than that.
No, it could be, but again, like I think she's more of a tier 2 than a tier 1.
Wow.
No,
I played her
a
tier
lot.
0.
I play her a lot,
zero, which is goated. I could put Seer up there too, but I think Seer is only good when he's synergized with the right other legends.
No, he's just good because half the battles knowing where your enemy is, and literally has an ult that's unkillable that you deploy in like essentially a small mini dome and find out where everybody's at is kind of powerful.
And you know the health bar and shit like that.
Yeah, too. And then you can stun them out of their abilities and shit. So if someone's trying to proc their ult, you if time it right, it goes through walls. It should just hit people with that. And then he has a fucking heartbeat detector too.
Yeah.
ADSing, which a lot of people do that, aim. He's super strong on his own. Just on his own.
I think Gibby is super strong.
Gibby's just difficult to deal with because he has a shield while he aims. That's it.
He has a shield and a body shield.
No, he has a regular Q, which is a dome shield, which tells everybody where you're at.
Then he's got his body shield. He's got the shield.
Yeah, which only has so much damage, but it's enough to win gunfights. Yeah. And then his ult, which is just an airstrike, which is fine.
I think Gibby's up there. All right, I'll put. I'm gonna say top 3 for tier 0 is gonna be Seer, Horizon, and Valk. I ain't moving on Valk just because Valk can literally fly, dog. Like she can fucking fly, and then be like, "Oh, they're right there. Let me barrage them with missiles that slow them down for 3 seconds." Like she's powerful, dog. Valk is very
I'm not
powerful.
denying she's powerful. I'm just saying she's not A tier. She's B tier.
Tier 1 to me is like, which is like B tier basically. Is like, I'd say Watson. I say Watson just because of that shield shit. Wraith.
If they made it so she's harder to track when she turns invisible, because at that point, at that point it's just like, oh, we're just following this little blue line. Then I feel like she'd be right back where she was.
Caustic, I'll put in there. I think the most useless of all of the legends is probably like Rampart.
No. Disagree. I think it's the Aussie guy.
Fuse?
Fuse, yeah.
You're tripping. What?
How's he? All right.
Fuse gets the stack grenades.
Okay.
Knuckle cluster's a pain in the ass if you're fighting indoors. All right.
If you're fighting indoors, which the majority of the time you're not really doing that, but okay.
And then his ult is fucking annoying to deal with.
If he catches you in it, which is very hard to do.
Look, man, Fuse is annoying. Just for the double stack grenades.
If we were to do a full kitted 1v1 against Fuse and Rampart, ults, abilities, everything.
Rampart will win. Rampart will win.
And the reason why I say Rampart wins because she drops cover and she can move around with her ult now. Yeah. If she couldn't move with her ult, I'd say
I forgot about that. She definitely can move with
that. Her ult rips you to shreds. Doesn't matter what type of shields you do.
It does.
So like it's good and you can share it. And
I just always kill Rampart every time I see a Rampart.
Because a lot of Rampart players don't know how to play Rampart, and that's the problem. They still they think drop cover and just hold your line. No, drop cover as you move away.
Shout out to Ash. Ash is a good arena.
I unlocked Ash the other day, and the first match I played with her, I won.
Yeah, I like her tether. Her tether's lit. Maya Buki used to main her back when
he said Ash wasn't that great, and I was like, she does rotates well. I wish
that sword slash is the most annoying. If you're not anticipating it, that could be literally your downfall right there. Every time I see an Ash,
what's funny is that they're gonna tear him. I was 1v1ing Rizzo the other day, and he was playing Ash, and he tried to proc his sword tether, and I caught him with the rockets from Valk, and mid ult he literally stopped.
Oh, wow, that's fucking wild.
I don't know if that was a glitch or if
Nah, I think that's just Valk being tier 0, like I said. Shout out to Valk.
But
yeah, Fuse, Rampart. Yeah, they're probably at the bottom.
They're at the bottom, but I think Fuse is just at the bottom.
Nah, dog.
He's super difficult to play, super niche. You have to be in like certain situations for him to actually benefit. Like you have to be indoors for his ult to actually be good.
Nah.
You have to catch someone completely unaware of your ult.
He's like a Bangalore that does damage instead of shoot smoke.
No, because Bangalore covers a whole surface area. He covers
Shout
a
out to Bangalore, dog.
specific ring. And if you're not caught in the ring, it's really just like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot you anyway. Like
that's the best decision I ever made, was to go from a Lifeline main to a Bangalore main.
The only scenario where I see Fuse is great is when you fight indoors and you proc your ult.
Where do you think Bangalore is?
Like she's mid. She's good, but she needs other ops to synergize.
I disagree, but all right.
You disagree because you play her.
Nah, I disagree because you gotta when you play her and you sweat a little bit with her, you'll understand. Like especially now since
I have sweat with her.
Especially since now I'm trying to learn how to hip fire instead of just fucking aim down sights all the time.
See, I hip fire first, then ADS.
That's what everybody does. That's what somebody told me to do.
Yeah,
line up the shot with aiming down the sight and then just hip fire the rest.
No, reverse that. So like if I hip fire with a gun that should be ADS, I hip fire, like initiate shooting in hip fire and then ADS really quick.
The alternator's lit for that, dog.
Yes, I love the alternator.
Favorite gun? Well, not my favorite gun, but you know.
I also been getting good with the car, so like I've been running just dual SMGs.
Car is the second best gun in the game.
But what I was saying with Bangalore,
R301 going in the care package next season. Call it. Nah, I think it's gonna be the Devotion. I think the Devotion's going in the care package. I think they need to take the flatline.
The Mastiff.
Yes, but no.
No, it needs to be like the Heat Wave and Halo. You need to be able to change the spread, either to horizontal or vertical.
The Mastiff is a 3-shot.
4-shot. Unless you're talking about ammo count.
I have to check that.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 shots out of the Mastiff.
To down somebody?
Oh, you're talking about to down. I'm talking about like your first click in the gun when you shoot it. It's 4 things come out, 4 fireballs. Yeah. I'm saying, okay, so like, because it's so horizontally spread, you have to literally be perfectly aiming with the Mastiff to hit somebody. It's not like the
yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
The handgun one where it's like the spread is very tight.
What, the Wingman?
No, the Mozambique.
Oh, fuck that joint.
It's good though.
It is, but fuck that joint, man.
You're just bad with it.
I'm terrible with it. I'm terrible with all the shotguns except the EVA 8.
But the spread on the Mozambique is much tighter than the spread with the Mastiff. And the Mastiff, I feel, should be a gun where you can
used to be the shit. The Mastiff used to be in the care package.
Yeah, because it hit like a truck.
Yeah.
In the care package. It hits like a truck. It doesn't hit like a truck as a normal gun. So I think you should be able to change the verticality of the spread. So like instead of horizontal, you can turn it to vertical. Kind of like how you can switch ammo types with the car or add a thermite grenade to the Rampage and shit.
What do you think is going in the care package next season?
Probably the Mastiff.
I think it's going to be the Devotion. Either that or the Triple Take. One of those two are going in the care package.
It's probably, I would say, it wasn't the Triple Take back in the care package last time.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the care package. You're right.
So I feel like it'd probably be the Devotion then.
It's gonna be the Devotion because the Devotion
is gonna come back out.
Oh, don't say that, bitch. Don't say that.
Like they're gonna bring it back out. It's been in the care. It's one of the guns that's been in the care package too much.
Yeah, but the Rampage is actually decent now, so I'm not mad about it.
Curious to see what a care package Rampage would be.
They put the longbow in the care package, didn't they? Or no, it's in the replicator.
Yeah.
That and the flatliner and the replicator. They put the Volt in the care package, which was
I
like,
want
what the fuck?
I want my Prowler care package gun. I want the original 4-hour back, full auto. Give me the hop up, full auto.
Yeah,
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
yeah,
Shred everything.
yeah. They fucked that gun up. I like it. If I have to use it, I'm gonna use it.
It's
But
decent enough to get the burst fire is fine. I just think it needs.
it's just 5 fucking. You have 4 fucking bursts in one clip.
Yeah, but it's
if
also
you miss one of those
SMG.
bursts, it's a wrap, dog.
Yeah. Well, it's the same problem the Hemlock has too.
Well, the Hemlock is the probably, and I'm just starting to use it again because the Hemlock used to be my favorite gun, and then I think one of the seasons I just wasn't feeling it anymore, so I stopped using it. Because I used to run the Hemlock in the fucking Wingman.
I think the fire rate on the Hemlock needs to match like the battle rifle in Halo. Like
that would be nice.
I think that's the issue with the Hemlock. It shoots slightly too slow because all the other guns are.
There's a delay.
Damage.
Yeah, there's like a tiny delay. It's like.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
and the Prowler doesn't even shoot that fast. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Hemlock is a slept on gun. The Wingman will always be lit.
Burst weapons are hit or miss though.
Yeah. They've never touched the Wingman, so that'll always remain lit.
No, they throw that in the care package, have they not?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
The R301 is definitely going in the replicator of the
PP20 I started using because Rizzo put me onto that, and I was like, oh, this gun is actually nice.
Yeah, the P2020 with a scope is decent. It's decent. It just takes...
The hammer rounds make it
hit like a truck. Yeah, the RE45 is fucking fire too.
I can't. I whiff all my shots on that gun. Every time.
I fucking love that gun, dog.
Every time.
Like if I gotta use it, if I had to choose between that and the R99, I'm probably picking the RE45.
I would rather just use the 2020 because it feels like half the clip doesn't do enough damage to me. Either that or.
But it reloads so fast. Like that's my biggest problem with Apex is reloading, because a lot of the gunfights that I get into, I only have to put like 2 or 3 more bullets in a guy, and I'm stuck in a reload.
Well, if you don't run out of ammo, the tac reload is slightly faster.
What do you mean tac reload? Switch to the other gun?
No, tac reload means you reload before you're out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The only gun that doesn't work on is the Havoc, which is why I hate it.
Gotten used to the Havoc. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to shit on the Havoc, but I actually like it now. I just don't like that it takes a second for it to ramp up. Nah, like it takes a minute to ramp up. But when it ramps the fuck up.
Yeah, it's great and all. But if you run out of ammo and then you reload it, and then you have to ramp up after that.
L-Star's lit too. I slept on the L-Star. I slept on that gun. That gun,
the best hip fire gun.
Yes, that joint is stupid, man.
I never used to aim with it. Like those clips of me like downing like 3 people with the L-Star is literally just me hip firing and then finishing them. Like it's great. I think they never should touch that gun. I don't know why it needs an ammo.
L-Star.
Maybe
wasn't that L-Star in the care package at one point?
It was, but like it was still good.
You need to just fucking do something with the charge rifle. Get that shit the fuck out of here.
Charge rifle? The Havoc?
Then the charged sniper rifle, John.
The repeater?
No, fuck that gun. That gun just needs to be destroyed. No.
Which?
The charged rifle.
The triple take?
No, the charge rifle, man.
What? Oh, you mean the energy? Is it literally called the charge rifle?
The charge rifle, yes.
That one's fine.
I hate that gun.
You got to hit everything. You got to hit everything with it. Yeah, you literally just have to track your target.
Yeah, you get melted if you get hit with that shit. But
yeah, that's the trade-off. You have to literally track your target with it and hit every fucking beam, like the full beam, or you don't do the full damage. Like the full burst does a significant amount of damage, but if you hit them with the initial burst, like the laser part, the full damage can crack shields. So, like, it's a skill weapon. You just gotta track your target. That's it.
But that's what I love about Apex, and that's why I keep playing it, because even though I lose a lot and I get mad a lot, I'm learning a lot, and I'm always learning. And I like that about that game, because I'll look at a gun and be like, oh, that gun sucks, until I have to use it, and I get the beam in a fucking kid. I'm like, oh shit, like this joint is actually pretty fucking decent. Like it ain't as bad as I thought it was. You know what I mean? But yeah, we gonna be playing Apex a lot more soon on twitch.tv/BlazeXinferno. And when Eknight figures out what's wrong with his shit, we'll play.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my shit.
Cause that would be a nice little team up, man. Me and you on some duos again, man.
I mean, I'll play it off stream with you. I mean, like my stream, I'll be offline. You could be online.
Okay, all right.
I did that with Rizzo the other night.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But you got anything else to add to the conversation, man?
Absolutely the fuck not.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I hope y'all like that little conversation. Apex is lit. Apex is lit. I think that's what I'll name this podcast. I don't know. Do Better Part 2.
Pretty much.
I mean,
it feels like we only talk about games that aren't doing that great.
That's the Infernal Gaming Podcast for you, man. Yeah, let's wrap this joint up, man. Let's get fuck on out of here. You got anything to add? You got anything to say to the listeners before we wrap this shit up, man? What's your closing statement for episode 31 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast, man?
Do fucking better. That's
all
it.
Right,
and subscribe to Couch Combat and my Twitch channel, and yeah.
Get some cool emotes and shit.
Yeah, and I got the coolest emotes.
And my closing statement is, stay lit. Make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/BlazeXinferno. We're sitting at 271 followers, man. Let's see. And I got an announcement I'm going to be making next week. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BlazeXinferno. You know what I mean? It's going to be lit. Gang, 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 gang. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all liked the conversation today. Not a lot going on. I think the next episode 32, will be the music podcast. I got to check in with my boys real quick. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, night, whenever y'all listen to this shit. I'll see y'all in the next episode of the Infernal Gaming Podcast. Peace.
All right, cool. I got a shit.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, I got a shit.